Get ready, folks. Please welcome back to the mountain stage, Tommy Emmanuel. He is not only truly one of the great guitar players in the world, originally from Australia, now lives in the U.S., but he also is a great showman and a great entertainer. And that's not accidental, because you started out, many guitarists are introverted kind of people that, they're great with their instrument, and they really, unless they have a deadpan like Leo Kottke, which has a great deadpan personality, they really don't often always have something to say. Well, you didn't. That's not your tradition. You came out with something else.
I'm in the entertainment business.
Right.
This is the music business. It's about entertainment.
Right.
And I want to give people a good time. And it's all about the people. It's not about my technique or any of that stuff. All that stuff's invisible. It's just the beauty of the music, and then the feeling that people get from that music. And I've known since I was a kid that when I played, something happened to people. I don't know what it is, but I know it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
And it's a connection, a serious connection.
It is.
And I've seen you've been on the show now, I think 3 times, maybe more. And immediately, from the very first note of the first thing, our audience, when we first had you on, they didn't know who you were.
Didn't know me.
It wasn't necessary to know who you were. Immediately, it was like, wow, what's this? Who is this?
Yeah.
And that was their. I'm sure you've gotten that forever.
Well, in the last couple of years, I've played in so many new countries to me, like Russia and China and lots of other places. This year I'm going to India and to Brazil for the first time, and you make an instant connection with the people through music and through looking at them, interacting with them, and I think the internet has been so great for people like me, because I sell out places I've never been to before, and that would normally be impossible. I didn't know anything about the internet or anything about YouTube until about 4 or 5 years ago. My agent rang me in Europe, and he said, can we do a second show in Stockholm, in Sweden? And I said, why? And he said, because the first one sold out. And I thought he was going to say 200 people or something. He said, 680 seats. And I said, what? I've never been there before. And he said, well, it's sold out and they want to put on a second show. And so we sold both shows out, first time. And I said, how's this possible, And the guy said to me, we all watch you on YouTube. And I said, what's YouTube? I didn't even own a computer.
Good for you.
Yeah.
But it obviously worked, and I think you're a perfect example of something that does work, because even via video, your charisma and the performance angle, not just the people who are guitar nerds, and they got plenty to go for too, because you're a great player with great style, and not only that, you can play a lot of kinds of music, which is not always the case with solo guitar players. You sing too. You're not totally a guitar player.
I sing a little bit when I want to clear the room,
that. Right. Well, but, that's what Leo Kottke does too. He jokes about it, and about his voice. But it's useful in an act, especially if you're going to play a concert of an hour and a half. It's nice to have something in there to throw in there.
Well,
I'm also styles of music.
I'm a songs player.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I'm not
You
out
are.
there. I'm not out there to impress musicians. I could care less about that.
Yeah.
I'm out there to give the people a good time,
Yeah.
and I use everything I can to achieve that. Whether it be my playing ability, my readiness to laugh at myself, and if I have a serious message to get across, I do. You know, and I just enjoy to play for the public, and I always am determined to have a good time every time I walk out there.
When I'm long gone, make my tombstone at a number 9 cold. A number 9 cold, yeah, for that 9-pound hammer. A little too heavy for my size, for my size. I'm going on the mountain, gonna see my baby, but I ain't coming back. I ain't coming back, back. So roll on, buddy. Don't you roll so slow. How can I pull when the wheel won't go? Roll on, buddy. Why do you roll so slow? How can I pull when the wheels won't go? Take it, boys. Yeah, roll on, buddy.
How many? You probably don't even know how many CDs you've made. Do you know?
I think of my own albums, probably 18. I think.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then you've done some, like this one is a duo.
That's
but
a duo
How
with
many of
Frank
those
Vignola.
have you done with other people?
Uh,
Did you ever do one with Chet Atkins?
yes,
That's what I thought. That's how.
Yeah, that's called.
That's
the
one of the
Dave-
ways that he got his start. Was one of his early admirers was Chet Atkins. You may have heard of him.
Yeah, Chet was not only a great hero, a great mentor, and a great person. He was a great friend. You know, if you had Chet Atkins as a friend, you didn't have a better friend than that. You know, and he was one of those guys that was so unassuming and so humble. You know, and yet so powerful in music.
He was huge.
I'll tell you how I got on the Grand Ole Opry, if I may. I'd never been there, and Chet said to me, "Have you ever been to the Opry?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, let's go down tonight." It was a Saturday. We went down there and went backstage, and we come up to the side of the stage, and Ricky Skaggs and his band were on. Place was packed with people, and the producer came running over and said, "Hey, Chet, you know, good to see you and everything." And Chet just so casually says, "There's my friend Tommy from Australia." He said, "You should have him on the show." And the guy says, "Next week." That's how I got on. And there's a list of people for a year in line to get on that show.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And I got on the following week because Chet said, "Hey, you should have him on next
That's
week."
great. That's great. Let's check it out. You can hear him play the whole set, mountainstage.org, if Mountain Stage isn't available on your public radio station. It's also on NPR Music. You can check it out there. And, of course, you can go to, what's your website?
TommyEmmanuel.com.
That's pretty easy to figure out.
That's easy.
If you want to find out more about the man himself, great to see you again.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.